Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great afternoon. I am coming in from South Carolina, and I am Beth Bolus. If you have not joined us before, welcome. If you have, stick around. We have some interesting stuff happening today. This month, I focused on overcoming obstacles. And today, Jasmine coming in hot from
Canada,
Canada,
I'm in Ontario.
from in Ontario. Okay, it's actually hot there. What's the weather like up in
It's
Ontario? It's
actually
probably getting cold.
yeah, it's starting to cool down. It's like maybe 10 degrees today.
No.
Celsius.
So this is an ops that would be my body would tell on me at 53. My joints really can sometimes really tell when that barometric pressure changes. And that is an obstacle that I have learned to deal with and in a very different manner than I did a few years ago. So what obstacles, drop in the messages down below in the comments. What obstacles have you overcome? What obstacles have you faced in your life that have allowed you to become a better person? You know what? I just don't. Yes, I do see it on my page. It is there. Um, as we go through life, we are either going into a storm, in the middle of it, or coming out of it. And oftentimes, when we're going into it, we're questioning, and we're going, oh, why me? Why is it that? Why am I having to face this? And most of us have had to pivot really fast in 2020, and I had begun my shift before we had to start staying at home, and many people had to, all of a sudden found themselves without jobs. And Jasmine shared a little bit of her story and where she was in the early spring and where she is now. And guys, if you have found yourself stuck at home, not knowing what in the world to do with, wondering where the income's going to come from, knowing how to juggle the family situation, and just needing some peace of mind. Jasmine has some great tips because she has really overcome some incredible obstacles in these past few months. And so share with us a little bit about those obstacles that you were faced with at the beginning of this whole staying at home that people were faced with this virus that has affected the United States, well, worldwide.
Yeah. So I met my partner at work, and we ended up having a baby. And I was on my maternity leave. In Canada, you get 50 weeks of paid maternity leave, and then you go back to work. Um, and I, at the time, didn't realize this because you're guaranteed your job back. When I tried to contact someone about my job, I never got a reply. So, as far as I was concerned, I was out of work.
Mhm.
And we had this really awesome program that kind of helped people keep on top of their bills and stuff for a couple of months. And I was not so worried about finances in the home and everything at that time, but I was dealing with postpartum depression. It didn't start when I first had my son, it kind of creeped in later. So I was dealing with the really low energies and poor moods that come with that kind of thing. I had also, I'm breastfeeding, so I gained a lot of weight because I was eating a lot between the breastfeeding and the postpartum depression. So I was just very unhappy with myself all around. And it seemed like no matter how well everything was going outside of my head and my body, everything was
Mhm.
great, but I was not feeling that. I was feeling the total opposite.
And Jasmine, I mean, I remember going through those phases. It's been a long time, but I remember how those transitions into motherhood. All of a sudden, you have all these different responsibilities, and your body does go through some drastic changes. And if you have felt those before, and you're a mom, a grandma, and you have somebody close to you that has felt these things, you're going to want to hang around because Jasmine, I wish I had these tools available to me back when I had my children. It would have been so helpful because um, motherhood, it's just changes everything.
Yes.
The sleepless nights, the getting up at all hours, but then you still have to get up and do everything
No
else
matter
first thing in
how
the morning.
well you handle it, it's never easy.
Right. So, so keep on with your story. But if you guys can associate and can feel what she's going through, let us know down below.
Yeah, so I joined a bunch of Facebook mom groups and stuff, and I met a really good friend named Samantha on there, and she just had this, like, we didn't really talk much at all. She invited me to a Facebook group, and I was like, yeah, whatever, like, I'll go. And I sat there and I watched all the posts and everything. I was like, wow, that's really cool, but I just didn't really have any motivation to try and start anything. I had been on programs that are the same idea as Thrive before, but a lot more complicated or restricting, and that just wasn't for me. I wasn't going to do that again. And she asked me, she was like, hey, so what did you think? And I was like, wow, that's really cool, but like, I don't believe it. So she sent me and him a sample to try,
Mm-hmm.
and we both really loved it. The first day we went to the beach. Okay, he's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping. The first day we had went to the beach. I was like, what is he doing? We went to the beach and it was a really, really good day. It was nice weather and he was off work. Danny normally works a lot. So he was off work that day and we went down and I was having an awesome day and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how tomorrow is. Cause I mean, everyone has good days. I thought it was a coincidence. And then the same thing happened the next 2 days, except we weren't out in the sun and we didn't go to the beach and he was working and I was still just feeling good. Like it was just weird. It hadn't been my normal in months and months. So I ended up ordering that night at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Sam didn't even know I was ordering anything. I just messaged her in the morning, like, hey, I did this thing.
But you knew that you wanted to feel different. You wanted to feel better because you felt stuck where you were, and you knew that you saw other people beginning to feel better, and if not, if you could see that for them, why couldn't it be you? And
Yeah,
you made that jump, and you were probably up nursing him, and
he
you know,
still doesn't sleep through the night. He's 15 months old. I didn't honestly think, even when I ordered it, I was like, I don't think this is going to work forever. It's going to work for a little while and then it's kind of going to like even out again. And it didn't, which was nice. I still feel good like I did on day like 2 and 3 and the first month and everything.
So you began to have some come out of that postpartum depression that had hit you so hard. But
Yeah,
and you had mentioned that you had begun to put on some weight because you were nursing and you were just eating everything that you, at least you told me this yesterday,
yeah.
that you were eating everything you could get your hands on. So how did that change as you as you got this order from that you had connected with Samantha, and you made this order and this decision that you were going to change the nutrition in your body?
Yeah, well, I have always been someone who really enjoys eat healthy, but then with all the busyness and the sleepless nights, I just didn't care anymore. I was like, well, I'm gonna put this pizza pocket in the microwave for a minute and eat like 6 of them. So something I enjoyed, but I didn't feel like I had time for it anymore. So I started with taking my Thrive, and a couple days in, I was like, okay, well, I mean, do I think it's going to work if all I'm eating is pizza pockets? So I was like, it might work a little bit, but that's probably not going to help with my goals because my goals were to lose a little bit of weight. And I knew that wasn't going to help. So kind of the mindset that came with it, like, oh, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it full force. I'm going to do it the best I can and see how that works because that's going to be the best results. And then also with, I noticed that in the mornings, I wasn't getting really hungry anymore. I was
Mm-hmm.
never a fan of eating in the mornings. It made me feel really heavy, but I'd always be like starving. So I'd have to eat something. I'd feel kind of the rest of the afternoon. So I didn't have to eat anything in the morning. I had my lifestyle mix, and that filled me up enough to get me through for a couple hours until I was ready to eat. And then when I did eat, I wouldn't be eating as much. I was having a lot of leftovers on my plate. I didn't have as big of an appetite anymore.
So the catalyst for this was you putting into your routine these 3 easy steps, and as you wake up in the morning, you're grabbing your capsules, and you are drinking these with a glass of water, and it's preparing your stomach, and it's giving you those jumper cables to get you through the day. And you know, I found that there were periods of time where I would skip and not eat breakfast. And oftentimes I don't eat, I kind of eat a brunch now. I don't have to go for that coffee and that Diet Coke and just something to get me going. You don't need it anymore. What was the thing that got you going in the morning? You worked in the restaurant industry, so I bet it was coffee.
Yeah, so I grew up drinking tea every day. It's like a family thing. It still is a family thing. I still love my tea. But when I started working really young, and I was trying to go to school and everything as well. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try coffee because it smells really good. And then I ended up being like a total coffee addict. Like, me and my partner were making like 6 to 7 pots of coffee a day at one point. I would go into work, and I was literally the kind of person I'd like, any of my coworkers can comment on this and tell us like it's true. Like, I'd walk in at 10 o'clock in the morning and someone would go, oh, what are you doing here? You don't work till 2 because you're too grumpy to work with us in the morning. I go, whatever, I'm going to go get a coffee, then we can talk. And I drink like a million cups of, sometimes I'd put cream and sugar in it, but at that time it was just straight black coffee, pots and pots of black coffee throughout a shift. And if I wasn't drinking coffee, it was Diet Coke. We would buy flats of Diet Coke every week and we'd go through it every week. Just me, he doesn't drink Diet Coke. So literally, like, I didn't drink water. I like was proud that I didn't drink water. I was like, I haven't drank water in 3 years. I live on Diet Coke and coffee.
I remember watching the grocery store ads for when the Diet Cokes would go on sale, and I would go in and I would buy 2 and 3 flats at a time because I would go through a flat in just a couple of days. So I was really consuming the Diet Coke. So, but so if you are a Diet Coke or whatever it is, a soda consumer or a coffee consumer, it really messes up that gut biome. And to get it right, so we've told you that the first thing we add, step 1 is put these capsules in your body first thing in the morning. And so it's just really 3 easy steps. You come behind it just 20 to 30 minutes later. And what's your favorite flavor?
Oh my God, I love them all, but candy cane and chocolate are my 2 favorites right now. Sometimes I'll mix them.
And there's also pumpkin pie there is pumpkin pie, but there's also, this is apple pie, great for fall. And she loves the chocolate, and vanilla is one of my favorites because I can do whatever else I like to it. I can add some spices to it or whatever I like in the morning, just have it plain. It's kind of mixes up. It's great to cook with too. So, that's step 2. And step 3 is just so easy. I noticed that you often wear a DFT, which is dermafusion technology, that you follow behind with as a step 3. And I am wearing Ultra today, which is great for appetite suppressant. You've got that on too. Yeah, see, they come in different designs. It's the same formula, and it has great appetite suppressant and energy, all day stamina. I needed it today. I knew I was going to need it because I overcame an obstacle just today that I was pretty afraid of doing. And I went and hit a gym today that I haven't done that in so long. And I absolutely came out feeling as if I had crushed the workout, that I had done very well with it, and that my recovery, I didn't walk out of there feeling like I was going to die. So, I did more than just come out of it. I'm very surprised. I surprised myself because I was able to overcome that. And for me, 2 years ago, I was 70 pounds heavier than I am now. So I had not been in a gym, guys, in a long time. And most of you that hang around know that I am one to get out and walk and do a lot of walking, but to hit a gym, that was a big step for me. So, Jasmine, what are some of the other things besides eliminating coffee from your diet? Except for maybe when you want the occasional flavor of it, what are some of the
Yeah,
other things that
I
have changed for you?
like I'm not gonna lie, I do have like an occasional decaf, or I'll have like a mini can of Diet Coke just for the flavor sometimes. But
Hmm.
other than that, I've been sleeping better. My son still, for the most part, does not sleep throughout the night yet,
Okay.
and he's like 15 months old. But I wake up pretty rested in the morning. There's some nights that are a little tougher than others, but by the time I get up and I take my capsules and everything else like that, I'm feeling like I at least had more rest than I used to. He's not
Yeah,
sleeping more than he used to at all. He's got the same sleep schedule he's had since he was 6 months old, but I'm feeling more rested. And
that's
then,
to get
go
up
ahead.
and feel rested. You have to because you have so much to keep up with.
Yes.
Not just your child, but your household, and your husband works really long hours because he also is in the restaurant industry,
Yeah.
correct?
So he works
Yeah.
normally um, 11 to 9, and I he just got a four-wheeler to be able to go back and forth to work some days, but some days he can't do that. I'm the only person who drives the van, so
Mm-hmm.
that means at times that I have to be out of the house by 10:30 in the morning and then back at 9:30 at night. So it's a long day for me no matter what I do, because I've just got to be there at those times.
Right.
So if I'm falling asleep on the couch by 7 o'clock, that's not good. That's not going to do it.
So you've been able to pivot. You've been able to pivot, and you've not gone back into the restaurant industry since you found yourself where that your restaurant had closed. Um,
No,
and
just get called back to work.
okay, okay. So you didn't go back, and so now you're able to. You've changed, and what we want to talk to you about is let you guys know that not only, I mean, I know that when I started thriving, when I started using this nutritional supplement, I couldn't afford it. It was it was hard. It was tough for me too, but I decided that I was worth it. That in then you are too. So if you are have that question in the back of your mind, am I worth it? Can I afford it? Yes. Hang on, and we're going to let you know how. Because guys, you can do this as a customer for free, and you only have to pay for it once. And then because you're going to feel so good, like Jasmine and I have, you are going to share with your friends, and your friends are going to want some of this because it's going to make you feel good. You're going to have more restful sleep. And so Jasmine, like I, decided that she was going to take this because she needed to do something. And you decided that you were going to become a Lavelle promoter, correct?
Yes, yeah. The night that I ordered at like 1 o'clock in the morning with no help or anything, I had no clue what I was doing. I signed up as a promoter to
Mm-hmm.
see what the difference was.
And so you're able to stay at home and raise him. And when he's doing something else, you're able to work from your cell phone 100% free. There's no minimum purchase. There's
Yeah.
no there's no monthly fees, no monthly quota. You don't have to keep an
Oh.
inventory.
Or even like right now, I can work with him while he's doing whatever he's doing.
So, but see, I mean, I think it's perfect because use a young mom, you could do this with him right by your side, and that's what it's all about because it gives you the flexibility that moms need, moms don't want to have to be able to raise their kids and not miss the crawling, the walking, and all those stages and all those new things that they accomplish so much at this stage. I mean, it's awesome that you're able to do this at home, and I so thank you for the opportunity. I know that it's great for me because as a teacher, I didn't. I too needed to pivot because my tutoring business folded when everything happened. So, overcoming. There are ways. If you would love to have more details, reach out to me. Reach out to Jasmine. One of us invited you here. You may or may not know both of us. Reach out to us. We would love to get you more information. And Jasmine, thanks. I'm glad we figured out the technical issues,
Yes.
and
Oh my god.
and he has grown so much since I first met you in the last couple months.
Oh, I know. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jasmine. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Bye bye.